Today, my husband asked for nachos for dinner. And I looked in the pantry, and of course, I don't have tortilla chips. And we have already gone to the store today, so I'm not going back. So, quick and easy way to make my own tortilla chips. They have less salt because I get to control that part of it. And they're baked and not fried. So what I'm going to do is take 8 flour tortillas. I'm going to cut them in half. And then I'm going to cut each half into thirds, like this. And do that again on this side. I'm making little triangles. Then I'm going to spread them out on my baking sheet in a little pattern. I do them, you want to fit as many as you can onto one baking sheet because I like to be efficient. So, just go make a cute little pattern. And I can usually get 8 tortillas will make 48 chips. And I can get them on 2 cookie sheets. So, 1 cookie sheet is ready. I'm going to take any kind of cooking spray. I don't suggest olive oil because it doesn't taste good. We're going to spray liberally because this is the only way to crisp up the tortillas. And the other thing you can do is season them any way you want to. If you wanted like cinnamon sugar tortilla chips, you could do it that way if you want. I'm going to use a little bit of salt and a little bit of cumin because it's one of my favorite flavors. And I like to use my fingers to do it so that I have a little more control than if I just open up and, because too much cumin is never a good thing. Okay, now we're going to take this pan, put it in the middle rack of your oven, 350 degrees for about 12 minutes or until they're crispy. So our tortilla chips took about 13 minutes, 13 and a half. But you see they're nice and crispy. We're just going to transfer them to this paper towel lined plate and start over with our next batch. But if you look, ooh, that one's hot. Hold on, I'll get you one that's not so hot and show you how crispy they actually are. Just like a regular tortilla chip. So my baked tortilla chips are finished. My turkey taco meat, which I've done on another episode where I did enchiladas, is finished and drained. So now we're just going to assemble the nachos. One of the things I've learned early on is if you spray the pan with any kind of cooking spray, then the cheese won't stick to it after you put it in the oven. Because microwaved nachos get soggy, but oven-baked nachos do not. So I'm going to take a handful of nachos, my little tortilla chips, onto the pan. And we always keep a few extra on the side because you sometimes have extra toppings that didn't fit on your nachos. Now I'm going to cover them in cheese. We like cheese. I think I've mentioned that many times before, but we like cheese. This is plain cheddar cheese, but you can really use whatever kind of cheese you want. And I'm going to take my meat and sprinkle over the top. And you can use as much or as little as you want. You can make we've done it with just beans and cheese. I've done it where I've added beans. Once we did it where I put beans in the center as like a dip for the nachos. We're going to cover it in more cheese. In total, I use about 4 cups of cheese. Because as I said, we like cheese. And then I have my oven still at 350 degrees from when we made the tortilla chips. So we're going to slide this into the oven and cook for about 10 minutes. Everything's already cooked, so we're just trying to get the cheese to melt and to warm up the chips again. So our nachos heated for about 10 minutes in the oven, and now we are ready to get them off the plate. And as you can see, they come off really easily. Even our pan is clean underneath. Just slides right off. And now we're ready to eat.